Welcome to the 311 Griffin YouTube channel. This is a mod for DCS. This is the A-29 Bravo Super Tucano, which is a pretty slick aircraft, and I think that DCS needs more aircraft like this. This mod is in the beta stage at the moment, so the models are less than what we're used to, I guess, in DCS, but they're still pretty good. And I've noticed some bugginess here in the cockpit. But I'm going to do a startup video because there may be some startup videos out there. I know there is one that is in Portuguese by Orsi, who I believe is the creator of the mod, if I'm not mistaken. And sorry, my work computer's chirping in the background if you happen to hear that. So anyway, this is just an English startup video. One thing I've noticed is that this is supposed to be cold and dark, but a lot of the switches were in the positions that I'm going to set them to, like the parking brake was already set, and a lot of these switches were already on. There's also the noise going on that I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's supposed to be happening, but it doesn't seem correct. So, but maybe it is. I don't know. And also some of the switches are left click to flip up, and some of them are right click to flip up, so that's a little bit odd. But anyway, we're going to go through it here in the order that Lucas went through it in the Portuguese video, which has English subtitles, so you can use that video if you will, if you want. But first of all, we want to make sure that our parking brake is set. Then we want to turn on the MPD 1 and 2. Those will get powered up later. Avionics on, SMS on. Then we're going to move down here to the electrical panel. Let me zoom in a touch more. Okay, generator, that's battery switch. Generator on, backup on, and then battery on. See, that's one I had to right click it instead of left click it, so that was a little weird. These are supposed to be off when you start, like those won't come on. So that's another area. I forgot to reset those back to the way they should have been. Okay, AC off, but there's wait, hold on. Oh, there's an AC switch there, but this is the one we're talking about. So just confirm it off. Temp to cold. Temp selector to manual. Recirculation, leave it off. Okay, now we're going to check emergency override is closed, and I don't actually know what that one is. ACT, INCT closed. Make sure all of our ice protection is off. Okay, so now we'll move over to the emergency speed brake. We'll make sure that that's off. Auto rudder is in power. Check landing gear handle down. Okay, PMU to auto. Ignition to auto. Taxi light is in auto. We'll confirm that. Landing gear off. This is another switch. I don't know what it is exactly. Inertial separation, maybe? Closed. I'm not familiar with this aircraft in real life at all, so. Alright, now we want to make sure that our late arm is closed. So then we can turn our MFDs on. So we will check that our flaps are down. That's something else. I think they should be down whenever you get to this screen, but they're not. Now they're down. Okay. Also check speed brake closed and neutral control surfaces. So those are all good. Okay. Here is where you would normally close your canopy with left control C. I'm going to leave it open for now. We're going to go to check our throttles. Okay. Sometimes the throttle sticks depending on where you have it in real life, and so I always move my throttle a little bit to get it to jump to wherever it is and then move it back just to make sure. Okay, beacon on. Our master arm selector switch is safe. The mask knob, if you will. So main pumps to auto. Main pumps to auto. Check our voltage over here. I don't know what the range is, but usually, in my experience, for most things, voltage is a plus or minus 5. So I'm not sure what the nominal value is, but 28.8 is what it was in his video. 28.8 is what I have in my video. If we assume a plus or minus 5%, not 5 volts, but 5%, you could do the calculation and see what your min and max could be. So we're going to check, he checked fan recirculation off again, just to make sure, and then we turn avionics master mode off. I'm not sure why, but that's what we do. Okay, so now we are ready to start the engine. We're going to check around, make sure everything's clear, make sure nobody's squatting next to our prop up there if we want to check that. So we're going to hold this start button for a few seconds, and that's a right click to go forward to start. We're going to notice the NG percent on this panel down here starts to go up, and I don't know how many seconds, I just wait for it to get to 10 or 12, and that seems to work pretty well. Okay, and now we have to wait for that to spool up. The NG percent, when it gets to about, I think it'll level off at about 64.4, but we're always going to have, oh, never mind. We should, there it is, engine limits. Okay. Until that gets to about 68%, we're going to have the engine limits. It's popping in and out. I'm not sure if it's supposed to or not, but anyway. Okay, so now we're green there, 64.6. I'm going to go ahead and push it up to 68. And now we've got that off. I'll go ahead and close my canopy. So now we just have those two yellow, they're dealing with pitot, it looks like, tubes. So that's probably these switches here for, once you're about ready to take off. So now we can turn our AC on. Well, we'll start with our avionics. We can turn that back on. And then we can set our temperature as desired. We can turn the AC back on, or on. I guess we never had it on. Temp select to auto. Okay. Now we will, HUD looks good. We can then turn auto rudder to engage, and that's a right click. And that is it. We should be ready to taxi. Now I've never taxied this. I've flown it and started it up. I have not taxied it, but just for grins, and I haven't watched his video. I should. We'll turn that parking brake off. Push the power up a little bit, and let's go taxi. So I'll probably do a review of this mod just because it just came, I think it just came out like last week maybe or something like that. But anyway, I think that this is an aircraft that it could really do some good in DCS. It's very different, and very different from the other aircraft we have access to, but there's enough resources in the real world. There's enough information about this aircraft that I think we could get a pretty good module. There's enough interest in it that we could get a pretty good module that would sell well. I think a lot of people would be interested in something like this. And it's just an interesting aircraft that can do a lot in real life. I have a lot of respect for this aircraft. It's not something you see around here a lot. I've seen one flying around here in Oklahoma where I live once, but you don't see it a lot in this area. But it's a cool aircraft. It really is. Now, I'm not doing proper taxiing procedures necessarily. I'm not doing any enlightening stuff on taxiing here. I just wanted to taxi it just because. And we came out in the middle of the runway, but just for fun, we're going to take off. There's probably something I need to do with pitot before I take off, and I don't know if flaps are supposed to be down or not. So it does kind of ride the rails, so to speak. When you pop up off the ground, it kind of shifts over to the side, but it flies a lot better than some other mods that I have flown recently. It's quite fun to fly around. I know I'm not intending to do a review right now, but I can't help it. I'm actually really excited about this mod. I love the fact that it's a clickable cockpit with a proper startup procedure. That's really cool. So I can't help myself. I have done some weapons employment as well, which is cool. So I haven't done ground attack yet. I've just done air stuff so far, but quite cool, quite cool. Since this was supposed to be a startup video, I will leave it at that and let you guys go. But I do recommend this mod if you're into mods. If you're not against them, I know some people are, but if you're into mods, this one it is in beta state again. I want to reiterate that. That's why, the fact that there's some issues with the starting position of levers, and the fact that there's just a few issues there with the model and all that, they don't really bother me because it's in beta, and I am happy to have it. So thanks to the creator, and I hope you get a lot of downloads and a lot of traction with this mod, because I would love to see it improved further. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy flying.